Starting a new game can be very scary. There's so much to learn, so much to do, and usually there's not a lot of guidance within the game itself. Tower of Adventures is unfortunately a big victim to that last thing because the tutorials in this game are kind of lacking. Anyways, I have 5 tips for you guys today that may help you in your account progression. There will be timestamps down below, so if there is something specific you're looking for, you can definitely skip to it, but honestly, if you're a new player, I would recommend watching the entire video. Anywho, before we start, I do want to say that if you do end up enjoying liking and subscribing would be very appreciated, and it also lets YouTube know that you want to see more videos like this. So, if you do enjoy, you probably should tell YouTube you want to see more videos like this. Anyways, let's get into those tips. Now, my first tip is actually going to start with the gacha system. Now, Tower of Adventures is very similar to a lot of modern day gacha games where there is both a special banner that has a rate-up unit and a standard banner, and it also has a beginner banner that I don't have access to because I obviously am not a beginner player. Now, what is an efficient way to use your polls, and what is bad to poll on, what's good to poll on, like what should you be aiming for? Like, there's a lot of questions you might have. Now, to answer the first question, is the beginner banner worth polling on? The answer is if you like the cookies. Now, the beginner banner in Tower of Adventures has 3 cookies: cream soda, lemon zest, and kohlrabi. Now, cream soda and lemon zest are actually pretty decent cookies, but kohlrabi is very, very not good. You're essentially gambling when you pull on that banner between getting 2 cookies that are pretty good, but mostly 1 cookie that's good, 1 cookie that's okay, and then kohlrabi who's bad. And that gamble honestly isn't worth it all the time. If you do end up pulling on this banner, or you did end up pulling on this banner, it's not the end of the world because cream soda cookie and lemon zest cookie are both still pretty decent, but unfortunately, if you do heavily invest into kohlrabi, will hurt your account a little bit for short-term progression, but don't worry about it too much. Most people will actually recommend you spending your standard tickets on the standard gacha. Now, this is because every single cookie is actually available in the standard gacha, regardless of how recent they've been released. If we go to the probabilities, every single epic cookie that has ever been released, including Sunday cookie, is inside of the standard gacha, and that is very good for a lot of reasons. First of all, pulling on the standard gacha will actually allow you to get a bigger pool of cookies as opposed to the beginner banner that only has 3 cookies, and that is a big bonus. Not to mention, it has access to every cookie, and that includes a lot of really good cookies like Sunday cookie, green bell cookie, strawberry mochi cookie, basil pesto, candy drop. There are so many valuable cookies that you could potentially get here, which is why people do actually recommend pulling on the standard banner over the beginner banner. But again, if you really, really want to max out cream soda or lemon zest, you definitely can pull on the beginner banner because you do have an increased chance of getting them. And the big downside to the standard banner is that you're actually not guaranteed to get anything good because of how many epic cookies there are. You really only have a small percentage to actually get the cookie you want. So that is the one downside on using the standard banner, is the beginner banner does give you a little bit more control on the cookies you can get. Now, no matter which beginner or standard banner you are pulling on, the one thing you never want to do is actually use crystals to pull on these banners. Crystals will always be better spent on the rate-up banners, which the current rate-up cookie is going to be Sunday cookie, and then you also have the cookie choice gacha. Now, in case you don't know, every between 2 weeks and 1 month a new cookie comes out, and that cookie is considered the rate-up cookie. Right now it is Sunday cookie, so if you pull on this banner, you have an increased chance to obtain her. Out of all of the epic cookies, she is half of that, and whenever you get to 100 pulls, or whenever you use 100 pulls, you are guaranteed to get her. Now, that's why it's typically recommended to use crystals on here, because on this 100 draws will get me a random epic cookie. I have 0 control over who this is, but on here, my 100 draws will always get me Sunday cookie. So that is a big bonus. And the other rate up banner is a choice gacha, which actually has every character in the game, besides the 3 most recent, which as of the time of recording this video, the 3 most recent are Strawberry Mochi, Sonic Water, and Sunday. But Sunday doesn't matter because she's on the rate up banner. A lot of people will actually recommend using the cookie choice gacha, especially if you've already maxed out the rate up banner cookie. Right now it's Sunday cookie. I would say she's worth it to max out, so if you do end up maxing her out, the rate up gacha is actually very good. You can pick every cookie in the game, like I said, besides the 3 most recent ones, but again, there's some very valuable cookies in here. Like if we go back to the probabilities, there's cookies like Green Bell, who is the best universal support. You can get Candy Drop, who's the best universal debuffer. You can get Basil Pesto, who's a really, really good DPS. You can get Strawberry Mochi, in about a week, you can get her from the rate up banner. Once the next cookie comes out, she will be eligible for that. There's also some other cookies. You could pick a DPS like Ice Mint or Frost Rock or another support like Honey Bear. This banner is super duper powerful for rounding out your cookie roster, so do not take it for granted. Now pretty much everything I've said for the cookie banners also applies to the artifact gachas. Don't use gems on the standard artifact gacha, only use your standard tokens you get. As for this, the artifact choice gacha is actually a lot better in my opinion, because there are so many very good artifacts that you want to use this for. Like artifacts like Going Beyond, which is an absolutely insane universal artifact. Specific artifacts like Greenbell, who is amazing on Greenbell and makes her the best support in the game, like just as a universal cookie. Other artifacts like Peach's artifact is very good on pretty much every single assist buffer. Aim Down Spice is good on a lot of ranged cookies. This is another thing that you definitely do kind of want to prioritize after you get the current rate up artifact maxed out. Do not take this for granted. Make sure you use this, because if you are a new player, you will be in desperate need of getting more artifacts on your account. Now with that being said, you will still obtain other epic cookies when pulling on this rate up banner, because even though you're pulling on it, like I said, you're not guaranteed. It's a 50% chance that you pull her whenever you pull an epic, so you can still get every other character in the game on this banner, which is why I actually don't think it's too big of a deal if you do end up pulling on the beginner banner versus the standard gacha, because either way you will still get other cookies on here, which is kind of what's great about the Tower of Adventures gacha system. Now the next tip I have is make sure you do not waste your early game resources. Now when you start Tower of Adventures, you will have very limited resources early on, and you need to make sure you do not spread your resources too thin. Now if you have clicked around enough, you probably have noticed that the raid mode is actually locked by cookie power. Now this is one of the big reasons why you don't want to spread your resources too thin, is that by doing so, you may not meet these power requirements to unlock the stronger versions of raid, which will give you much better rewards than the lower versions of raid. So making sure you don't spread your resources like EXP potions or coins too thin is crucial to not essentially bricking your account or making your progress much slower. Now besides leveling up, there are actually a lot of ways to get cookie power, and I am going to show you some of them. So the first one obviously is Ascension. This should be pretty obvious. When you ascend your cookie, you get a bunch of stats, and these stats will contribute to your cookie power. So make sure you are not only leveling up your cookies, but also ascending them. Now the next thing is equipment. Whenever you unlock super epic equipment, make sure when you are using them, you're using 3 of the same pieces. As you see right here, I am using the Earth Descendants headpiece, the Earth Descendants body piece, but a Sugar Feather leg piece. So whenever I get rid of this Sugar Feather leg piece, and I switch it out for instead an Earth Descendant leg piece, do you see my power shoot up? Well, that's because whenever you pair 3 super epic equipment from the same set, you actually activate their set bonus, which will give you a massive power boost. Now besides that, there is also leveling up your equipment. Leveling up your equipment will contribute stats. As you see right here, I have a 9,116 power. If I go over to my Candy Boomerang and I max it out, my power shoots up to a 9,998. But that is still not all. You can also get power from your equipment by promoting them. Whenever you have duplicates of any kind of equipment, you can feed them into each other and you can promote them. As you see, not only does it increase the unique ability, which you will see will increase our power and it will probably get us over 10,000, but it also will allow you to level up your equipment further, which will further contribute to power. Now, the final way you can get more cookie power through equipment is going to be through hidden powers. Now, a lot of newer players don't know this exists, but hidden powers are right here when you see level up, promote, and hidden power. Now, you actually get hidden powers through these scrolls. So the elemental scrolls are going to be the important ones that we will be talking about today. So whenever you use a hidden power scroll on a piece of equipment, you are going to go ahead and get a random stat. So for example, here we have crit damage. Now we are going to do this on all of our pieces of equipment, and you are going to see that we are going to shoot up in power. Now these act like substats in Tower of Adventures. In case you were not aware, this is how you get all of these extra stats. See, now our power is at 13,000, but wait, I can actually increase this even more from hidden powers, and it's actually very simple. Now, just like equipment, whenever all 4 pieces of your equipment have hidden powers, you actually activate the hidden power scroll set. Now, on my leg piece, I used a non-elemental hidden power, so I didn't actually activate the earth scroll set. So if I go in here and I use an earth scroll instead, I will then get the Earth hidden power set, and now we are at 15,000 power. Now, there are more ways to get more power with hidden powers, especially because you can roll for higher stats and whatnot, but those are mostly the basics for hidden powers. Now, the 2 final ways are going to be cookie promotions. Whenever you get more duplicates of cookies, you unlock their promotions, and these promotions will contribute to power significantly, especially for epic cookies. This will matter a lot more. But the final way is going to be promoting your artifacts. Now, promoting your artifacts is a great way to get more power. As you see, I have Going Beyond on my Gingerbrave currently, and I am going to use all of my Going Beyond copies and promote this. And watch Gingerbrave's power shoot through the roof. He went from 15,000 to 16,000, so I guess it's not as big as I thought it would be, but that is still a pretty sizable increase. Now, a little bonus tip is every cookie actually has a signature weapon piece. I don't have Gingerbrave, so I couldn't show it off, but these signature weapons will have a big tower climber bonus that is unique to each cookie, and these are typically going to be what you are aiming for pretty much every single cookie. So if you are able to get those, then that will definitely also help your power much more than a simple epic piece of equipment. So yeah, just to summarize again, make sure you're leveling up your cookies, make sure ascending them, make sure you are trying to get promotions, especially on your more important cookies. Make sure you're actually promoting your artifacts and your equipment pieces as well. Also, make sure you are actually using hidden power scrolls to try and get hidden powers on all of your equipment. And for your head, body, and legwear, make sure they are of a matching equipment set. And finally, for your weapon, try to get a unique for your cookie, but that will be much harder if you are a newer player. But all of those things will help you get much more cookie power to hopefully unlock those other game modes. Now, the next tip is actually going to be make sure you are clearing out the seasoning dungeons. Now, seasoning dungeons are going to be what you are spending pretty much all of your stamina on. These are going to be where you get your coins, your experience potions, and your ascensionite materials for all of your cookies. By not clearing these, you are significantly harming your account progress. Now, if you need some help finding teams for this, I will put a video on screen that you should go watch, because I do give you some cookies that you can use for this game mode to help you clear each of them individually. But these are a must do, because you need these for resources. Some players either put them off or are unable to clear them, and that does significantly hurt their account progression, so do not be one of those players. Now, the next tip is going to be to actually just do the story mode. There are a surprising amount of people that don't do the story mode, and the story mode gives a ton of free rewards. Or there's also a lot of players that are really confused on how to progress faster. The story mode is going to be one of them. Story mode stages do give a lot of things like free polls, free gems, free coins. There's also the Jelly Bear shops in each level, which can also give some pretty decent things like polls and gems. You really just need to be doing this story so that way you can actually progress your account. This should be something that is on your priority list. Obviously, like it is with every other CookieRun game, doing this story is going to always be important. Now, my 5th and final tip might sound very obvious, but just play and enjoy the game. Tower of Adventures is a very fun game, but it does require some amount of commitment if you do want to progress your account faster. That is doing things like doing your seasoning dungeons, doing your 5 raid tickets every single day, doing your tower rifts. Currently, for the anniversary, playing your perimeter defense, doing your Sweet Sugarland missions, trying to do whatever events are currently going on inside the events tab. Just play the game. You will progress by playing the game. Play the content the game has to offer, and you will progress. Like, there are a lot of players that are confused on how to progress faster, just like I said with the story modes section of the video. Just playing the game will yield you results. Look around, see what there is to do in the game, and just do it. Right, like here with champion raids, just do it. Go and play the clear mode of champion raids. You can get a lot of free things. And if you just sat there staring at the menus all day being like, man, I don't know what to do, There are a lot of things you can do in this game every single day, and you just kinda have to do it. Now, a little bonus tip is to actually make sure you are making the most out of your expeditions. I'm actually very guilty of not using my expeditions to their fullest, but these expeditions are actually going to be very good for just getting some free resources that you otherwise would not be getting. I know for newer players these are a little harder because the star requirements are pretty rough, but make sure you are doing them when possible and whatever is possible, because you will be getting free rewards for doing them. And guys, free stuff is good, okay? And I guess my final bonus tip is to actually make sure to do your guild stuff. Make sure to try and join a guild, guys. Guilds in this game are super duper good. There are so many benefits to join a guild. You can get free hearts. If you do guild missions, you get access to the guild shop, which has a bunch of free things: coins, scrolls, schematics, unique and super epic bundles, unique and super epic selection chests. There are so many benefits to joining a guild. There's even free cosmetics, guys. Make sure you will try and join a guild and at least be somewhat active in it, because guys, guilds are very, very good for progression as well. Anywho, I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you're a new player and you still have questions, feel free to ask them down in the comments down below. I love to respond to comments and will definitely make sure to respond to your questions. But if you also have any video suggestions for things that you might still be confused about after today's video, feel free to let me know and I can definitely put them on a list, because I do want to start making more videos, especially for newer players. Anywho, if you enjoyed, like and subscribe would be very appreciated, and I will see you all in the next video. Peace.